There is a silent hunger in men that no food can satisfy, a thirst that water cannot quench. It's a craving that grows stronger the more it is fed, and yet it never fills. You see it in the glaze of tired eyes staring into the flicker of screens, in the tight grip around a game controller, in the lonely silence after hours of digital stimulation, porn, power fantasies. Escapist dreams of being worshipped without sacrifice, rich without struggle, loved without vulnerability. Men are not addicted to these things because they are weak. They're addicted because they were never shown anything stronger. Reality as it is has become intolerable, not because life is too hard, but because fantasy has become too easy to access, too easy to manipulate, too easy to hide in. There was a time when the pain of existence forced men to sharpen themselves like blades, when the discomfort of reality built kings and killers, prophets and poets. But today, pain is no longer a teacher. It's an inconvenience. And in its place, comfort, numbness, stimulation. The world offers 1,000 digital opiums, and men are overdosing daily. You want to know why fantasy is more addictive than reality? Because fantasy obeys you. Reality does not. Fantasy conforms to your ego. Reality breaks it. In a fantasy, you are the hero, the lover, the god. But in reality, you're just another soul trudging through the mud, unknown, misunderstood, unloved, unfinished. Fantasy is always ready to worship you. Reality demands that you earn your place. This is the sickness, the unspoken disease of the modern male soul. Men weren't meant to sit, to scroll, to watch other men live their myth. They were built for war, internal and external, built to bleed and break and rebuild. But now, they're building empires in video games, while their real life crumbles into ash. They're watching perfect women on screens, while real love slips further and further away. They're chasing dopamine, while their destiny collects dust. Do you feel it? That gnawing sense that something inside you is dying each day, you're not living for something real? The worst prisons are the ones with invisible bars. And today, those bars are made of comfort, porn, mediocrity, and noise. Every click, every scroll, every lie you tell yourself to justify why you're not chasing the life you were born to live, that's another layer of chains wrapped around your soul. And here's the brutal truth. No one is coming to save you. Because deep down, you were never meant to be saved. You were meant to awaken, to rise from the ashes of your own delusion, to remember what you are, a storm with legs, a force of nature in human skin, not some passive consumer in a digital zoo. Carl Jung once said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. Fantasy is not the problem. Escapism is not the enemy. It's the refusal to return, the refusal to confront the real world that makes fantasy a poison instead of a tool. Every man carries within him a sleeping king, but instead of rising, most choose to dream. Dream of power, dream of women, dream of respect, but never rise to earn it. Why? Because the dream is safer than the battlefield. The battlefield demands pain. It demands rejection, failure, humiliation. And in a world where everything can be simulated, who willingly chooses suffering? But here's what they don't tell you. Suffering is not your enemy. It's your initiation. It's the forge that breaks the boy and births the man. And every time you run back into fantasy to avoid that suffering, you're aborting your own evolution. Fantasy feels like power, but it drains you. Reality feels like death, but it builds you. You were not meant to live in a dream. You were meant to drag that dream down into the dirt and shape it with your bare hands. That means waking up fully. No more half measures. No more waiting for motivation or permission. No more pretending you're working on yourself while secretly sedating your soul with empty pleasure. You must become the architect of your own reality. The world won't hand it to you. It never has, it never will, but it will respect you if you take it. And here's a secret they won't teach you in school or in therapy or on the internet. The most powerful men alive are not the ones who dominate fantasy. They are the ones who dominate reality. They bend it, mold it, rebuild it around their will. Not through magic, through force of presence, through painful self-mastery, through relentless clarity, and above all through war with their own delusions. You want to be free? Then you must suffer for it. You must burn the fantasy to light the fire of your awakening. You must stare into the abyss of your own potential and refuse to look away. Most men will never do this. They will die as dreamers, safe, comfortable, forgotten. But not you. Not if you feel this in your bones. Not if you've tasted the bitterness of unrealized potential and vowed never to sip it again. The time is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Because every day you remain sedated is a day your soul decays. Your future is not waiting patiently. It is dying in the distance, and only you can resuscitate it. So get up. Not metaphorically. Literally. Stand up. Move. Break the loop. Turn off the screen. Step into cold water. Speak to someone real. Build something with your hands. Discipline your body. Clarify your mind. Wage war against your weakness. And then, when the urge to escape returns, as it always does, look it dead in the eye and say, I do not belong to you anymore. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Once you awaken, fantasy will feel like poison. You will crave the real, the raw, the painful, the beautiful. And you will become dangerous again, not because you can destroy, but because you can build. And that is the man the world fears. Not the dreamer, the builder, the one who tore his fantasies apart and built something stronger in their place, a life worth living. And what is a life worth living? It is not built on comfort. It is not stitched together from the soft fabric of indulgence. It is hewn from resistance, from choosing the harder road, not because it is heroic, but because it is real. Men today are not weak because they are incapable. They are weak because they have been trained, conditioned to expect greatness without paying the price. Fed on a steady diet of illusion, they believe effort is optional, suffering is unfair, and validation should be automatic. But life was never meant to coddle you. It was meant to confront you. The world is not here to entertain you. It is here to test you. And every man, at some point, must face his test. Not the outer test. The job, the relationship, the paycheck. Those are secondary. The true test is inner. It is this: can you hold the tension of reality without retreating into the narcotic of fantasy? Most can't. They escape into porn, into status games, into conspiracies, into dreams of a future they're too afraid to build. But the warrior stays. He stays in the boredom. He stays in the hunger. He stays in the tension between who he is and who he could be. That tension is his gym, his monastery, his battlefield. Because that tension is where transformation happens. The boy escapes it. The man endures it. Look around you. Every system is designed to sedate that tension, to distract you from it, to tell you you're fine the way you are, that you're already enough, but you know that's a lie. You feel it. In your chest, in the silent nights, in the restless scrolling when the dopamine fades and you're left alone with yourself. The real enemy isn't outside of you. It's the part of you that settles. That settles for the imitation of intimacy that porn offers instead of risking rejection to feel real love. That settles for the illusion of achievement in a video game instead of suffering through the chaos of building a business or a skill. That settles for the role of the observer, the critic, the dreamer, instead of becoming the doer. That part of you must die. Not gently, not respectfully. It must be killed ruthlessly. The fantasy-addicted version of you is not your friend. He is your cage. But here's the paradox. You cannot kill him with hatred, only with responsibility. You don't slay fantasy by screaming at it. You slay it by outgrowing it. Responsibility is the sword that cuts through illusion. Purpose is the fire that burns through seduction. If you don't have a mission, you will become the plaything of every fantasy that whispers your name. But once you choose your mission, really choose it, fantasy begins to lose its grip, because reality for the man with a mission becomes thrilling again. There's no dopamine hit that can match the quiet pride of doing what needed to be done, especially when no one is watching. There's no virtual escape that can rival the beauty of building something real, no matter how small, with your own hands and discipline. That's when you start to feel dangerous again, because you no longer need fantasy. You use it, maybe, as fuel or inspiration, but you don't hide in it. You return always to the real, and that return is your power. There's a moment, and maybe it's now, where you have to look at the life you've built and ask, is this the life I would die in peace, having lived? If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? Another scroll? Another excuse? Another fantasy? Or are you ready? Because the moment you truly choose reality, the moment you swear allegiance to what is not what could be, not what might be, but what is that's, the moment everything begins to change. The pain becomes purpose. The struggle becomes sacred. And your life, it starts to mean something. Not because it's perfect, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. And it's real. No more borrowed visions, no more simulated pleasures, no more manufactured pride. Reality is brutal. It does not care about your ego, but it will make you real. And in a world full of illusions, there is nothing more powerful or more rare than a man who is fully real. So stop escaping, start enduring, reclaim your strength by suffering through the weight of what's real, because only in that weight will you remember who you are and what you were born to become. And what were you born to become? Not a spectator of other men's victories, not a consumer of curated dreams, not a puppet for the algorithms that study your impulses better than you study your own mind. You were born to create, to build what does not yet exist, to speak what no one else dares to say, to fight for something that makes your bones ache and your soul scream. But that man, the one you were meant to become, he does not emerge through comfort. He is summoned by resistance, forged in failure, tempered in the fire of self-confrontation. Because here's the truth, that every fantasy tries to make you forget. You are still unfinished, still unformed, still raw iron. And raw iron does not shine. It must be melted, hammered, cooled, over and over, until the weapon within you is revealed. Every time you run back to fantasy, you delay that process. You dull your own blade. You trade your future for a flicker of pleasure, like Esau selling his birthright for a bowl of soup. And the most dangerous part, you start to believe you're progressing. You consume self-help content. You follow Stoic quotes. You nod at truth, but you don't live it. You become a philosopher in theory and a prisoner in practice. But wisdom without action is just another fantasy. There is no growth without grit, no transformation without trauma, and no real power without pain. That's why most men are addicted to fantasy, because fantasy offers the reward without the sacrifice. But that reward is counterfeit, hollow, weightless. Reality is the opposite. It offers sacrifice before reward. But when the reward comes, it is earned. And what is earned can never be taken away. Not by another man, not by the world, not even by time. That's what makes it sacred. But you must choose it. You must choose to step into the arena where there are no guarantees, no easy wins, no curated endings. You must risk rejection from women, from society, from your own family, to live in truth. You must risk being misunderstood, risk failing, risk being laughed at, doubted, outcast. Because only those willing to walk through fire become flame. And make no mistake, the modern world is designed to keep that flame extinguished. It wants you distracted, entertained, emotionally neutered, physically pacified, addicted, but convinced you're free. That's the greatest fantasy of all the illusion of freedom while living in chains. But real freedom doesn't feel safe. It feels dangerous, because it is. It means taking full ownership of your life. No scapegoats, no excuses, no blaming your parents, your past, the system, or society. Just you naked before the truth. Can you handle that? Most can't. That's why they run. Why they hide behind ideologies, behind status, behind fantasy personas crafted for likes and comments, but hollow when the lights go out. But you're here, still listening, still breathing, which means something inside you hasn't died yet. Something inside you knows you were meant for more than this cycle of empty highs and quiet shame. Honor that. Feed it. Fan that ember until it becomes a wildfire. Do something hard, not to prove anything to the world, but to remind yourself you are alive. Cut off the comforts that drain your edge. Fast from pleasure. Train until your muscles ache. Speak the truth even when your voice shakes. Make promises to yourself and keep them. That is the slow death of the fantasy-addicted boy and the birth of the dangerous man. And when you meet that man in the mirror, scarred, tested, grounded, you won't crave fantasy anymore. You'll see it for what it always was, a cheap imitation of the life you could have lived. But by then you won't need it, because you'll be too busy living the real thing. And when you finally stand at the edge of it all, the games, the lust, the illusions, the simulations, and you look back at the wreckage of time lost to fantasy, you'll feel a burn in your chest. Not regret. Rebellion. Because the deepest rebellion a man can commit in this world is to choose reality over illusion, to want truth more than comfort, to feel his own pain instead of numbing it, to carry the weight of his unlived potential, not with shame, but with rage, the sacred rage of a man who finally remembers who he is. You are not your fantasies. You are not the algorithm's prediction. You are not the dopamine loop of lust and escape. You are not the story of your failures, nor the fears you inherited from weak men before you. You are something far more terrifying. You are a builder of worlds, a sculptor of fate, a destroyer of delusion. And every second you waste hiding in fantasy is a second that robs the world of that power. You don't need another escape. You need a fight, a mission, a direction so brutal, so real, so demanding of your blood and sweat that all those fake pleasures shatter against it like glass. When you are in it, when your back is against a wall and your soul is on fire, that's when you'll feel it. Peace, not comfort, not pleasure, not applause. Peace, because you'll know that finally, after years of drifting through illusions, you're home. Home in your own body, home in your own life, home in a reality you didn't dream you earned. No fantasy can offer you that. So kill the boy who runs. Kill the ghost that hides. Bury the coward who waits for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. Stand up and reclaim the battlefield. Rebuild your soul from the ashes of everything false. Let the world see a man who is awake, untamed, and utterly real. That is the man who cannot be seduced, cannot be controlled, cannot be broken, because he is no longer addicted to fantasy. He is addicted to becoming